everybody. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Diamonds and Doxies. I am Leanne, and I'm so glad you're here. So, we're going to be doing a WIP and chat today, and WIP, W-I-P, stands for Work in Progress, and my work in progress is this kit here. Oh, goodness. This kit here. It is Seasons from by Alphonse Mucha from Diamond Art Club. It's Winter 1896. It's an older kit. I've had it in my stash a while. I started it on 11/13/2024, and I'm doing it for Anthony over at Single and Placing, his event, which is Mucha Mania. It's round. It's a 20 by 38 inch or 50 by 7 centimeters by 97 centimeters. I know a lot of people in the diamond painting community strictly go by the centimeters, but I'm old, y'all, so yeah, I go by inches. So anyway, I'm using my new tray here from Yellow Dog Designs. I'm sorry, Yellow Dog Designs, and this was Let It Snow, and I assume they still have some. I don't know, but I do like them. And it comes with two different kinds of stoppers. I like that kind of stopper. I do use my tray, and a lot of people don't, but I do. So like if I'm in the middle of diamond painting and I have my drills in here and I have to get up and go do something, then I'll just set this back on it and set it aside. And then I know my drills will be fine. I don't have cats or small children, so yeah, it's going to be just fine. So anyway, using my Francesca's tweezers that came in her kits, which she doesn't do anymore, so sad. And then my pen from Enablers. No, gosh, I'm sorry, I keep getting these wrong. Leopard Leatherworks, and I just love this pen. Just absolutely adore it. The camera just really doesn't pick it up. Anyway, I say that every time. And here I have my 8 thin metal multi-placer, 8 count, which you can actually pick up 9 if you're doing squares. And this is my single metal placer. Both of them are from Diamond Art Club. Currently, in my single placer, I use glue dots, micro glue dots. I use 2 in there. And then right now, I am using this art dot putty, and I've used that little tiny amount. I don't know if you can see that or not, and it's still going strong with it. So at first I wasn't too sure if I liked it, but I do like it. I think I'm getting close to having to replace it. It's getting kind of hard, but yeah, it's one of those putties though. At first, when you first put it in, I don't like it so much, but then after using it a little bit, maybe dirtying it up a little bit, getting it inside the placer better. So anyway, and of course I'm using my Art Dot storage jars. I like these. I like to be able to screw these on and off. It's just what I prefer. I'll go ahead and throw all of those in there. So anyway, what's everybody up to? If you hear dogs wrestling in the background, that's because, well, there's dogs wrestling in the background. Or like bad children, you know, like when you get on the phone that have to, you know, of course, when I say get on the phone, I'm referring back to where, you know, you were tethered with a landline, you know, with a cord, so you couldn't get very far, so you had to pick something up and throw it at them, usually my shoe. But now, you know, you got a cell phone, so you can move. So children can't be as obnoxious, I don't think. But anyway, so how has everyone been? I have been doing well. I've had my car for 4 years, which, okay, something y'all probably don't know about me is I am a car fanatic. I love cars. If I won the lottery, I'd probably have a different car for different types of weather, different seasons. I mean, I'd be like Jay Leno. I would just have a huge garage full of cars because I like them. So needless to say, I like driving new cars, or newer cars. But it's not just that I like cars, but I like cars that are, you know, functional, comfortable, but also, you know, a little sporty, and it's got to have some get up and go. So I don't want any 4 cylinders, and I need an SUV because I like, you know, we take my vehicle on road trips. So, yeah, I need something that we can put our suitcases in and stuff. And that, like I said, is a comfortable ride. So, in my current, or my car that I had, because I go ahead and spoiler alert, I did buy a new car. But, it came with 3 years, 36,000 miles of free, all maintenance included, all maintenance. So, you know, plus the warranty for all the important stuff. But, you know, it didn't cover tires, but it did cover oil changes and fluids and windshield wipers. And, you know, all I had to do was take it in and go, fix it, guys. And there they would, and it wouldn't cost me a penny. And, you know, I kind of like that. So, of course, I know that it's built into the cost of the vehicle. I do know that. But I like not having to worry about it. So, it was time, this month, it was time for all kinds of maintenance. And I was like, oh, I'm going to have to pay. Because I've heard a lot of people say that, well, I'll just tell you, I had a BMW. And I've driven a BMW for most of the last 14 years. And absolutely love them. Very reliable, dependable cars. Never had one break down on me. You know, I've had to take them in for service, and the service department was always just top notch. And that's important to me because everybody's going to need service, whether it's just for an oil change and, you know, alignment or something like that. And so everybody's going to have to, you only have to buy the car from the dealership once, you know, but you're going to need service. So I always like that. Well, I decided, oh, geez. See, this might be getting time to change this out, but as it turns out, it almost landed right in the perfect spot. I decided to look at other brands. So I wanted, you know, one of the brands I wanted to look at was the Acura, the MDX. And so I was like, okay, I'm going to drive that first. And I just knew. It was like, no, you're going to go back to a BMW. I know you will. You know, you're loyal to them. You know, you don't have to learn anything new. The cruise control is always going to be in the same spot. But to be real honest with you, I wasn't real pleased with the upgrades they had done. They only do like body style changes maybe once every few years. So it's not like every year it's a whole different car. But, you know, they do tweak stuff on the inside or whatever. Well, the outside was just so meh. I don't know, just didn't like it that much. And then the inside, the dash, you know, your instrument panel, and then like where your nav system and all that, it's just one long display. And, you know, I'm sure if I had given it a chance, or even just went and looked at it in person, I might have liked it. You know, maybe if I test drove it or something. But my first reaction was, oh, I don't like that. You know, I just don't like that. So, you know, change, y'all. But I decided, you know, before I go look there, then I'm going to go drive these other cars. And they just opened a Genesis dealership. Well, it's not open. Let me rephrase that. They just built it. And then it's just stopped. They literally have one vehicle on the showroom floor, and that's it. And no cars in the lot. It's not open. So I was like, well, I don't know when they're going to open. But then, you know, I started looking at those, doing my research online with those. Well, they had the same thing. You know, the same kind of dash. And I was like, you know, I just don't think I like this. So I was like, well, there's an Acura dealer over here by me. So, and I don't think I'm going to like those, but I'm going to go try them. And y'all, I did like them. And I test drove one. I looked on their web page, found one that I liked. And I was like, okay, I want to drive this one. And so I did. I liked it. And I was like, okay, you know, after test driving it, you know, I had told them I was going to go look at others, that they were my first. But, you know, Max jokingly said, but I guarantee you if she likes it, she'll buy it right here, right? She'll buy it today. And I was like, oh, yeah, that's true. That's me. You know, if I like it, I'll go ahead and buy it. I won't go look at the other ones. So test drove it, loved it. Sales lady, I liked her. So I was like, okay, well, give me some numbers and see what we can do. She was like, okay. You know, she had asked me, how much do you want on your trade? So I told her. And so she was like, okay. Well, then, so we waited, and the sales manager came over there. And not only did he not even remotely give me what I was hoping, you know, I gave a range. He was totally off. And then he started telling me the reason was because there was a recall on BMWs. I said, oh, there's a recall? And he said, yeah. I said, well, that's no big deal. BMW will fix it. He said, well, yeah, that's not the problem. The problem is BMW has all these vehicles on their lot that they can't sell. And so it affects all of the BMWs. I said, so does mine have a recall or not? Because I should have gotten a notice. You know, I've got the app and everything. And he was like, well, no. He goes, you know, technically yours does not have a recall, but it does affect the price of your vehicle. And I was like, really? And he said, yeah. So I was like, I don't know. He goes, yeah, I called. What he did is he called other BMW dealerships, and this is a nationwide company, which I don't like. I prefer shopping from family-owned, but it's so hard to find them now. But anyway, he was like, you know, they can't sell them. So I said, you're telling me that BMW dealerships are sitting there with all this inventory that they can't sell for a recall? Yeah, that's what's happening. I said, well, that is so bizarre, because I went and looked on the BMW right here, which is not in their, you know, they're part of their group. And I said, they got plenty for sale. I mean, they do. They got plenty for sale. They've even sent me an email saying, you know, come in and take this one home, and for this much money, you know, drive out. And he was like, oh, I don't know, you know. I was like, okay. And so then I looked over at the price of the vehicle. Y'all, not only did he not come down in the price of the vehicle, it went up. I mean, he was like, yeah, well, window tint and floor mats and, I mean, just all kinds of stuff. And I was like, you didn't even come, you know, not only did you not, you know, you're blowing smoke up my drawers with the recall, and now you're not even coming off of the price. And he said, oh, well, you know, this is just first pencil. You know, we can go down or something, because I thought you were going to go other places. And I said, well, that's what I was going to do if I didn't like the vehicle. And he goes, well, and I said, but you know, I asked to get numbers, and this is what you give me? You know, I said, I don't understand. I said, no, you know, no, this isn't going to work for me. And he was like, well, how much do you want to pay? And I was like, I don't want to play this game either, you know. I said, I was hoping what you would do is you would give me your best price, and I would decide whether or not I could afford it or wanted to afford it. And then, you know, make my decision there. If I like the number, buy the car. If I don't like the number, then go somewhere else, you know, just that simple. And he was like, well, you know, he wasn't, I mean, he didn't offer to go back and try again or say that he would or anything. He was like, well, take this home and think about it. And I was like, yeah, that's not, you know, okay, but no. And I was like, I can get a better deal from BMW. And I've been with them for a long time. So anyway, I was most upset because I was like, yep, I'm going to buy this car until that happened. And that was on Thursday. Yeah, it was on Thursday. So I had made an appointment to go look at a Cadillac on Saturday. And I was just like, yeah, I don't want a Cadillac. I think they're neat. My sister drives one. I like them. But I just don't think they're me. It's not my type of personality. So I was like, I think that I will probably just go in sometime later in the week and go to the BMW place. I mean, they made an offer. In fact, I had gotten from their sales manager at the BMW store, they were like, trade yours in and take this one home. But I didn't like the color. But I was like, okay, I don't remember my salesman's name, so if you would just please forward this to my salesman. And so they did. But right on Saturday, I get an email from the general manager at the Acura store. And he was like, I saw that you came in on Saturday, and I would just like to know how your experience was. And I was like, well, you know what? I'm going to answer him because they need to know. As if they care. But so I did. I said, the sales lady did a great job. No problem there. Loved the car. And then I told him about the sales manager. I said, he flat out lied to me about my trade. Their BMWs aren't sitting on the lot. And he was like, okay, well, and I told him, I said, and then he wouldn't even come down off the price. Not only would he not come off the price, he added to the price. And with a bunch of superfluous. And I know that, I've been around the car business. I do know that stuff gets added. There for a little bit, the thing was to add, well, we put nitrous in your tires. And so we got to charge extra. And I was like, take the nitrous out and put regular air in. I don't want that, and invariably like, okay, well, we'll just leave it alone. I was like, yeah, I thought you would. But anyway, so he was like, okay, well, let me call you. Let's work out a deal. So I said, okay. So we talked on the phone, and he was like, okay, I did some research. We can give you a little more on your trade. Not exactly what you wanted, but a little more. But I was happy with it. And we can take all of this stuff off. So we'll lower it by this. I'm like, okay. All right, that sounds good. I will buy the car. So I go in, and I was like, all right, I'm going to come in and buy the car. And now bear in mind, I didn't need to test drive it anymore. I just wanted to, do the paperwork and then move on about my merry way. Well, it took 4 hours, y'all. 4 hours. I don't know what was going on with the finance manager, and the general manager didn't, I mean, he's over everybody. He should be able to get in there and, do that. But nope. And they only had the one. And it's a Saturday. So anyway, I finally get in there. It's getting late. I'm tired. I'm getting hungry. And I spend another, I spend about an hour and a half with him. And I'm just like, I want to go home. And I tell him straight up front, the only warranty I'm interested in is this warranty. And, and then he's like, well, let me go over all of them with you because we can get a better price. And I'm like, okay, do what you need to do. And because, I'm too nice to go, nope, I said what I said. And I meant what I said. I didn't do that. So anyway, he's like, well, you know, we can get this warranty and it's good for 7 years. I'm like, I won't keep the car for 7 years. This is the longest I've kept a car in 14, well, and I don't know how long, honestly. So I was like, no, you know, 4 is my maximum. I don't need all that. Long story short, after being there for like 4.5 hours, I was like, I just want to go home. And then he told me, because I wanted to, I was going to finance it until the first payment came due. And then I don't like to carry a balance on anything, but I didn't, it was too late to transfer funds and all that. So I was like, no, I don't want to. So I was financing it, but not really, you know, like as soon as the first bill came in, I'm going to pay it off. And because I don't know, I'm funny about that. I don't like to carry debt. So anyway, I said, okay. But then he kept going, well, you know, if you finance the car for 7 years, which he had me at 7 years on a finance deal, like that is like probably the worst financial decision you can make, in my opinion. No, he had me at 84 months. What is that? I don't even know how many years that is, but no. So anyway, it's like he wasn't hearing me. He just couldn't hear me. And next thing I know, he's giving me all these things. He was like, okay, you got all these warranties. Like every warranty they sold, I had. And I was just like, oh, you know, I want, it was like he wore me down, you know. It's just like, I don't know, I want to go home. I want to go home. And it's like, it's past my bedtime even. And then I got home and, you know, didn't think much of it because I was so tired, went to bed. And then the next morning, though, I woke up and hang on with these dogs. Okay, sorry about that, guys. If you're watching, you'll say, hey, something's different. And yep, the lighting is totally different because when I started recording, it was in the morning and now it's in the afternoon. The dogs were acting a fool and then it was time to leave. We needed to go to the house, go to Home Depot, go eat lunch, and then go back to the house and then come home. So, and then I had a doctor's appointment. Oh, anyway, let me get back to my story first, okay? So, like I should have listened to see what all I had said, but so going back to Saturday at the place, at the Acura dealer, and I was just so tired. Oh my God, I was so tired. But then when the general sales manager, when we had talked on the phone, he was like, okay, well, you know, here would be the drive out price. And I was like, okay, you know, I will do that. That works for me. So then when coming home, or after I got home, it wasn't really the next day, the next morning, you know, I kind of woke up and went, how much did he say that the payoff was going to be? And I mean, it was like, I don't know, 18 grand more than what I was originally quoted. And I was like, oh my God. But then I realized he didn't give me a copy of the contract. I had nothing. I mean, I had nothing. And I was like, pretty sure I should have had a copy of the contract. So it was on my mind. Of course, that was on a Sunday, so there's nothing I can do about it. Well, I didn't really say anything to Max, and then we went out to eat lunch on Monday with Jacob, you know, my youngest son, and I was like, you know, something bothers me. And so, you know, Jacob, well, Max Sr. too, worked in the car business. Jacob did. He was a salesperson, so he knows how the front end is supposed to operate. Truthfully, I should too, but anyway. He said, Mom, they didn't give you, you don't know what your contract is, so you don't know, you know, you don't have an itemized statement? And I was like, I don't. And he was like, well, that's not right, Mom. And I said, well, I didn't think it was. And he goes, no. He goes, you know, let's call them and tell them we're coming. And he goes, and I'm going to go with you. And he goes, you want me to go with you? And I said, sure. You know, I'll take all the help I can get. And so I sent a message to my salesperson, and she was a little tardy in getting back to me, but she did get back to me and said, oh, you know, the finance manager isn't in right now, but I'm sure when he gets in, he'll take care of this for you, you know, send you a copy of the contract. Because that's what I said. I was like, I need a copy of the contract, because I feel like when I got home, in my purse, I had every single warranty that they had. I had it. And I had a brochure on it, you know, in my purse. So anyway, then he called, and I have my phone, because I get so many spam calls. So I have my phone, if it's a number that's not in my contacts, it goes straight to voicemail. So, you know, it's like, well, leave me a voicemail and I'll call you back if you're, you know, an actual person I need to talk to. And he did leave a message, but he also sent me a text and said, you know, and this was, you know, like at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. So, you know, some time had passed. I mean, they opened at 10, and, you know, he was like, I'm so sorry. You know, my printer wasn't working, so I wasn't able to send you home, but you know, there was mistakes made, and so come back in and, you know, let's go over your warranties, and anything you don't want, you know, we can remove. And I'm like, okay. So Jacob was like, well, let's go. So we get up there. He's already got someone in his office, and I only have one F&I guy, which is crazy to me, but for a store that size on the freeway. But anyway, so we wait hour and a half, and he finally finishes with those people. And then he comes out and he's like, okay, you know, I'm ready for you. Okay. So we go in there, and then he's like, excuse me for just a minute. And then he comes out and he goes, you know, I'm so sorry. I didn't realize that there was somebody ahead of y'all. And do you mind waiting while I take care of them? And I was getting ready to go, sure, you know, no problem. It's fine. I'm okay. And Jacob was like, no, we're in here. Just assume we've been here since Saturday night, you know. So no, we're not leaving. We're going to take care of this, and you can get to them when you get done with us. And he was like, yes, sir, okay, you know. And he was just very much, you know, the printer messed up, and, you know, the computer messed up, and ultimately he did. He charged me double for all the warranties. And I was like, I was like, I told you I don't even want these warranties. I just wanted this warranty. And he was like, okay. I said, honestly, I don't think I want this one either. And he was like, okay, well, let me take that off, you know. And he was like, and I'll give you this one cheaper. I was like, okay. So Jacob was like, you know, he was trying to, like he did on me whenever I was there Saturday night, you know, because they have these like iPads, but they're not iPads. But they're the same concept. And you sign on those, right? And he kept, you know, signing them for me, because all you had to do was, you know, push next or whatever. And Jacob was like, slow down. He goes, I want to read what you're having her sign, so just hold on a minute. He was like, oh, okay, I'm sorry, you know. And so anyway, we were in there for probably another 30 minutes or so, and then it was like, okay, now I've got a contract, you know, that I can see, and I've got, you know, it's all good. I'm happy. And Jacob was very helpful. I mean, because Jacob was like, you know, because he was, you know, he starts going, well, you know, so this maintenance plan, and Jacob was like, she doesn't want that, you know. It's like, quit trying to sell her stuff, you know, she doesn't want all that. And he was like, oh, okay. And so anyway, so I got my contract and I was happy with it. But then, you know, it was like, you know, I started feeling, I don't want to say bad, more like sad. Hang on, I got to get some more of this color here. Let's see, 948. 948, here we go. And the reason why was because, hang on, y'all. I swear, I cannot multitask at all. God, I hope that's didn't mess you up too much. Anyway, let me open these. Because, and I think I was upset, sad. I don't know what it was really, what the emotion was, to be honest with you. But I was like, you know, how did I get there? You know, how did I never thought. I was like, no one will ever get over on me. I know too much. You know, I'm smarter than that. I don't fall for things. You know, why would, you know, people are not going to get over on me. And y'all, they did. And, you know, I told Jacob, I said, thank you, son, for, you know, going with me and standing up for me. And he was like, Mom, I'm not going to let anybody try to scam you. That is just never going to happen. And then I thought for a minute, I was like, that's exactly what happened. You know, they took advantage. And also I was very nice, you know. I mean, I was like, oh, no, that's fine. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. You know, it's not in my nature to be ugly. Now, if you hurt someone I love, yeah, I'm going to be ugly to you. But I mean, just in my everyday life, you know, it's like, nah, life's short. You know, there's no point in being ugly. And I don't know, but it dawned on me. I was like, oh my gosh, you know, all these years I always felt like you know, I've got my kids back. You know, I'll always, you know, make sure nobody tries to get one over on them. And, you know, and I was like, I've reached that age. You know, I've reached that age where I'm an easy target. I don't know when that happened, but it happened. And you know, I thank God I had my son, you know, to help me. But it was like, yeah, I think I'm getting to that age where I may actually need my kids, you know. Well, definitely more than they need me, I'm sure. But I don't know, y'all. That is a weird feeling. That is a weird feeling when, you know, you've made all your life decisions. You've made decisions for them as they were growing up. And then to reach a age where, you know, I don't know how to describe it. And you know, maybe if you're, you know, older, and I don't consider myself old by any stretch, but yeah, I don't know. And it's like, how did I let that happen? I too have been around the car business, so I too know how they operate. And I never thought, you know, that a dealer would get over on me. I never did. And I always just felt like if you're honest, people will be honest to you. You know, I mean, they'll be honest as well, right? You give what you get, right? I mean, well, y'all, not everybody's that way. And it was by far the worst experience I've ever had in buying a car. I do not like that company. I will never recommend, and they're nationwide, and I will never recommend them. Even though they're all over the U.S. I don't know. He said they weren't in Mexico, but I can't remember if he said they were in Canada or not. But they're all over. And I really prefer dealing with family-owned car dealerships. I like dealing with family-owned, period, over corporations anyway, because, you know, I just don't think you get dealt with that way. I mean, I bought an Explorer one time from a family-owned dealer that's just down the road. And, you know, the owner came out. You know, he's an old man, but he still showed up every day for work. And his kids pretty much ran the place, but he showed up every day. And, you know, he came out there and thanked me for buying a car. And, you know, stuff like that means something. And when you have a corporate-owned store, there is no, I mean, it's all owned, it's a publicly traded company. So, you know, they're answering to shareholders and not their customer. And yeah, and it just really makes me sad because I am pretty much a loyal customer, although I feel very disloyal to the BMW store down the street. And, you know, I don't know what I'll do. I usually keep a car for about 4 years. I don't know what I'll do. I don't know if, I don't know. I don't know. And this is the same store, you know, Max had bought a Acura from them years ago. And I'll never forget it. We went in, he test drove it, he liked it. They made a deal on it. And he was like, okay, yep, I'll take it. And then, you know, he's like, okay, I'll be back tomorrow to write you a check. Because he wanted to pay for it outright. And they're like, okay. So we get over there, you know, with the check. And the lady comes out and goes, oh, you know what? We made a mistake. The wheels on that car are customs, and they're like $10,000. So it's going to cost you a little extra. And Max was like, yeah, no. He's like, that's okay. You keep it. And so he got up to walk away, and they're like, oh, wait. You know, okay, well, we'll honor it. Well, you know, it's like, you have to honor it, you morons. You signed it. You know, you had a contract to sell it at this amount. But, you know, so they still run their business the same way. And I said, man, that's a lot of BS, you know, to do that. I wonder how many customers they do that to. And the customers are like, oh, I didn't know, you know. And I think because he had also said the day before when he went to look at it, to test drive and everything, he goes, man, I really like these wheels. And she was like, oh yeah, those are nice wheels. And I really think that they thought, yeah, we'll get it, you know, an extra couple or extra few grand out of them. And that's a lot of money, y'all. And then just to go, okay, never mind, you know, we'll let you have it at the agreed price. Well, first of all, you have to let them have it at the agreed price. That's the law. But second of all, are you going to sit there and tell me you took that much of a loss? I don't think so. Nope. So, yeah. So I don't trust the store. And so now I'm like, I wonder what their service department's like, because that'll be where I have to go. Because the next closest Acura dealer is on the other side of Houston, or in Sugar Land, which is also on the other side of Houston. And, you know, I'm really not into driving 40 minutes or an hour, you know, to go get my car taken care of. So we'll see. We'll see how owning an Acura is. If you have one, let me know. Let me know. I would love to know. So far, I'm loving it. It does feel more like a car to me than an SUV, so I feel like I'm sitting down lower. And that's been kind of nerve-wracking. I sat up higher in the BMW. And, you know, I live in Texas, so there's a lot of trucks. I mean, Max drives a truck. But some of them are big trucks, you know. You get a lot of 1 tons, you know, 3/4 tons. Max's is a 1/4 ton. So, you know, it's not that big. But, and I was like, man, you know, I feel like I'm really low to the ground in this thing. But I'll get used to it because I do like the car. I do. I really do. I'm very pleased with it. Only one thing I do have a problem with, and I'm going to wait until after Thanksgiving, is, you know, it's got the Brembo brakes, so you can see the brake calipers on the outside, and they're red. And they had like these marks on them. And she had said, well, you know, it just needs to be made ready. And, you know, because it does. It looks like it's just, you know, somebody went through a mud puddle or something, you know, although it's like it's not on the wheels. It's just on the calipers. And again, when I left from there, it was night and I wanted to go home. And I don't stay out late, you know. So, yeah, I was out of my comfort zone. So I didn't really pay attention. And the next day I was like, wait a minute, you know, these wheels. And so I reached down to see if it was like dirt that was stuck on there that I could just rub off. No, it's the paint. The red paint has come off. So I don't know if it, when they brought it on the convoy, you know, how they had it strapped down, if that's what did it. I don't know. But I want to ask because, I mean, it's a brand new car. I'd like for it to look like one. So, yep. We'll see. I mean, part of me is just like, just let it go. Just let it go. I don't know. What would y'all do? I don't know. Anyway, so that is what's been going on there. The house is coming along. I would like to, maybe I can do that on Thanksgiving at some point. Maybe go over there and do a walkthrough video with y'all. I've done one for the backyard, but for the inside, just to kind of give you an idea of what, you know, has been transpired. I think you've seen pictures of how it was. I haven't taken pictures of the process, but yeah, they hung up, by this time they may have hung up all the light fixtures, but they had hung up most of the light fixtures earlier, and I had ordered some pendant lights to go over the island. Well, you know, ordered them online and got them in October 3rd. And, well, one of them was broken inside the box. So the pendant, you know, the shade. So, and then the guy was like, and if you'll notice, these other two, they're not the same shade. I was like, what? It's real close. And again, I'm like, just suck it up. It's fine. You know, having things imperfect is just a great reminder that nothing in life is perfect. And I'm just not that picky of a person. So anyway, I was like, well, that's fine. But obviously, we've got to get a replacement for the broken one. So I had to come home. Fortunately, they were delivered on October 3rd. And I say fortunately because I ordered them on September 27th. And you have 60 days. Today is the 26th. So it's like I'm right there at that cusp. So, but I didn't get them until October 3rd. So I have until December 3rd. But I called them and so they're going to get with the manufacturer to send out a new, just the shade, you know, just order the part. And just the shade, which is fine. But if they don't have the shade, then they'll have to send me a whole nother, you know, fixture. And then I'll have to take a picture and send it to them and all that good stuff. But fortunately, this happened before my 60 days. Or else I was going to be buying, you know, $110 light fixture. Which I really didn't want to do. And then my sweet friend Tammy, I'm sure you've seen her on different lives. She sent me a message because she knew which kits I'd gotten in my Christmas mystery box, and is it Christmas Angel or something like that, that was in the Christmas mystery box. She was like, you know, there's something, the sticker sheet or whatever doesn't match up with the legend. So I was like, oh, well, I better go look at that and see. So I did, and I was like, well, she is right. They are different. So, and then I also noticed that, because it's a round kit, that it had the pink on it, you know, which really, that really wouldn't bother me. And so it is a round kit, though, so you might be able to see it. I have mica powder, so I really was not concerned about it. And I don't think it really mattered anyway. It's not a light color painting. It's more darker colors. So I didn't really think it was going to matter that much anyways. But anyway, I went ahead and contacted Diamond Art Club, and they were like, well, you know, of course you can send it in for a refund if you'd like. You know, you have to pay for the shipping up front. We will reimburse you the shipping. You know, give us a receipt and we'll reimburse you. And, or, you know, and then they explained that the sticker sheet was the correct. And I was like, okay, well, the sticker sheet is correct. And they did tell me some other numbers. But anyway, then I was like, you know, I'd hardly look at the legend anyway. So if I wanted a refund, I could do that. But, you know, there's 4 kits in that box, so they would just do a fourth of it. Well, the kit was $180, so that's $45 that I would get refunded. And I'm like, you know, I think it's worth more than that. Of course, you know, not if it's not any good, but I was like, well, it really is not. I mean, there's really nothing wrong with it that can't be worked with, you know. So they said, or I could opt for a credit of $20 or 2,000 points. So I think that's what I'm going to do. The thing is I was wanting to gift it to someone on my channel, and I already have a person in mind, but it was like, well, you hate gifting something that's, you know, not perfect, right? So I don't know, but I think that's what I'm going to do. Yeah, I'm sure that's what I'll do, because it wasn't my favorite anyways. So I'm not really into fairies and all that stuff. That's just, you know, everybody's got their thing, and that's just really not mine. So, yeah. So let's see, what else? Oh, so it's almost Thanksgiving. So for those of you who celebrate, happy Thanksgiving. I am fixing a turkey with dressing. I don't do stuffing. I make dressing, cornbread dressing. We'll have, of course, I'll make some gravy to go with it. You know, I'll use the giblets, whatever you call them, and the neck bone to make some turkey broth. And then we'll have some yellow squash. Oh, that's always good. And what else? Oh, some green beans. Just canned green beans, not fresh. And then we'll have rolls, and we'll have some deviled eggs. I didn't do any black olives this year because I'm literally the only person that's coming that eats them. So it's like, there's no point. So I'm not doing that. And then for dessert, I'm making a buttermilk pie and a spice cake with cream cheese frosting. So, yeah. So, and it's just going to be me and Max and Max Jr. and Jacob. My daughter, they're planning on laying low, which I don't blame them because they're going to have a bunch of us at Christmas. So I think they're going to stay in their jammies all day, and that's fine. No, I've always said Thanksgiving, while I like it, the holiday and everything, just, you know, Christmas. That's all I ask. Give me Christmas. So, and then my son's, I don't know. I feel weird calling her his wife because, but I do think they're common law. So I don't know. But anyway, his significant other, she's going to go to her, well, they were originally both going to go to her dad's, and they've done that before. You know, she'll go to her dad's for Thanksgiving, and then Max will come over to my house, or, you know, to me my cooking. But she'll always come over for Christmas, which is nice because we do miss her. But she's a vegetarian, so I always have to, you know, plan ahead. You know, I want to make sure she has something to eat. Not that she's picky or anything, but I don't want to go here. Oh, hi, welcome. Here's some rolls. Because, you know, come on, y'all. I'm from Texas, so it ain't good if it ain't greasy. And the greasy comes from bacon. So, yeah. Like I will, in my green beans, will have bacon and bacon grease. And my squash will have bacon. And, well, not bacon grease. It'll have butter. But, you know, it'll have fried bacon topped on top of it. So, yeah. Probably going to need some more of these, but I don't know if I'm going to need them right now. So anyway, that's the plan. The house is coming along. It's looking nice. Right now we're battling raccoons and skunks. So we've ordered a baffle because the stupid raccoons figured out how to get around the baffle on the bird feeders, which just really irritates the living daylights out of me. And then the skunks come over because, you know, they drop bird seed, and the skunks come over and eat from the droppings on the ground. With dogs, I don't want either one of those things in my backyard. When I had boxers, my boxer, I should say, Bonnie, she chased, we had a family of raccoons that would come and go through our trash cans. And, you know, this was in a neighborhood. And Max had went out there one time to scare them off, and they were like, bring it, buddy, you know. We're not intimidated at all. Raised up on its back legs like, oh, yeah, it's going down. So, anyway, I forgot what I was saying. Someone texted me, and I don't know who it is because it doesn't say on my iPad, and well, my phone is recording. But anyway, I did let Bonnie out there, and she chased them off. They were a family of 5. I mean, they were a boy, a girl, or a mama, daddy, and 3 little ones. Not teeny babies, but definitely juveniles. And who is D? I mean, I know that's me, but who knows me by that name? That's texting me. I'll have to look. I don't know. Whoever it was has called me too. But again, my phone doesn't ring. I don't know them. Anyway, but, you know, that's a boxer. These here are dachshunds. So maybe if all 3 of them charged at them, they'd run away. But I can't guarantee that Maggie will. I think Maggie will turn around and run inside like, help. Snoopy definitely will. But I mean, these are big. These are big raccoons, y'all. These aren't no baby raccoons. These have been around for a while. So, yeah. And I definitely don't want them charging a skunk. Thank you very much. So we're going to have to do something about that. And so we're going to have some, I don't know, like fencing stuff that's metal put down at the bottom around the fence, because there's places where the wooden fence where they can come in and out. So we were going to do that anyway, because we don't want some of them are pretty big, and we don't want the dogs getting out, because directly behind us is a Catholic church, and then, you know, just a block away is a main road. So yeah, we do not want that. And I don't think covering up those anyway will stop the raccoons, because they can climb. But, you know, God, please stop the skunks, you know? I mean, it's almost like I will live with raccoons. But not, no, not skunks. So I am going to make sure that I have, you know, I saw the recipe. It's hydrogen peroxide, Dawn dish soap, and was it baking soda or something like that, I think. I don't remember exactly, but I do have it written down, and I'm going to buy all of those in massive quantities. So, you know, like the institutional size, so that it's ready. Because I don't want to be caught at 1 a.m. letting the dogs outside to go to the bathroom. And yeah, I have never had a dog sprayed by a skunk, but obviously I have smelt dead skunks, like that were dead in the middle of the road, and not pleasant. And that's after it's dissipated some. So I can't even imagine. Have y'all ever had a pet get sprayed by a skunk? Oh. And again, these are dachshunds, so it's not like you can go, oh, you're staying outside. Yeah. Ain't nobody getting to sleep if they have to stay outside, because they will be crying their heads off. So, yeah. So, I don't know. It's like, oh, the thing I love about the house, the nature, is one of the things I think I'm going to hate about this house, is the nature, but that's okay. But speaking of dachshunds, so, you know, Diamond Art Club is doing a Black Friday release. And so far, I've been like, you know, so far there's nothing that I just have to have. But if y'all saw the Peggy Collins dachshund, then you'll know that I'm going to have that. I had actually voted on it, God, I want to say last year. And I was like, okay, I guess this is never going to happen. Well, it's going to happen. So definitely getting that. I did vote, and again, this might have been 2 years ago, y'all. I don't remember now, but it was a Starry Night dachshund, and I was like, I gotta have that. So wouldn't it be something if that was also a Black Friday? Because then that would definitely be 2. Other than that, I don't think that I will, you know? Of course, you know, 100's a lot, that's for sure. So that there's still plenty of time for me to get more. But I don't know. We'll see. I mean, don't get me wrong. It's not that I don't like any of the other ones. I do. I do like them. But I just don't need them, you know, if that makes any sense. So, yeah. I don't know if that makes any sense. I mean, I'm really learning the difference between want and need. So I think my first Black Friday, well, I became Diamond. Before that, I'd only purchased like 1 or maybe 2 kits. Well, I think just 1. Oh, maybe 2. I don't know. And Black Friday hit, and bam, I was Diamond. So, and I haven't looked back since. So, yeah, I don't really ever see a time when I won't be, to be real honest with you. So, what about y'all? Have you seen anything yet? Or from, you know, doesn't have to be Diamond Art Club Black Friday. Seen some from Art and Soul. Was a little disappointed in my last kit because it you know, it didn't even come in a labeled box. It was just a plain Jane. I didn't even know what it was. So, I mean, until I opened it, there was no way to even know what was inside. So, I'm going to have to put a sticker on it to let me know what it is because, you know, and it was a more recent release. So, I don't know what happened there. You know, you pay a you know, a good price. So, I don't know. I know you're not paying for the box, but I do store them in the box. And so that is important to me. So, I don't know. But I think they've got some. I'm sure Dreamer Designs will have some. Yeah. I have not bought a Dreamer's Designs in a long time because the drills were real gappy. And then I saw somebody post a picture to say, oh, look, they're very improved, not a lot of gapping. And it's like, I still see gapping. You know, I think it's what you get used to. And I'm used to Diamond Art Club, and there's no gapping. So, yeah. There was no gapping. Well, on that Dachshund that I did, the Sugar Skull Dachshund from Art and Soul, there was no gapping. Francesca Studio Works, I didn't see any gapping. But it was like, even on the photo, I'm like, I see gapping, y'all. So, I don't know. Maybe I will, maybe I won't. I don't, and again, unless they come out with something that's just like, nope, I have to have it. So that would basically mean a Dachshund, right? So, I still have not gotten, well, I need to start working on my Christmas premiere, y'all, because I have to, the video is due by the 15th of December, and next week is the beginning of December. So, I know Max ordered this baffle that's supposed to, prevent raccoons from getting to your bird feeder. And he's like, well, it's not going to be here until December 3rd. And I was like, oh my gosh, why so late? And then I was like, wait a minute. I looked at the calendar. I was like, well, that's next week. That's a week from today. So in my mind, it was like, that's next month. Well, yes. This year has been going so fast. When I went to my doctor, she was like, let me look at when you had your labs last. And I was like, I just had those done. She goes, you had them in July. And I was like, no, I'm serious. I'm sure I just 2 months ago. And she was like, no, it was in July, but it's okay. You don't need any more. Good gosh, man. I was like, man, this year has, yeah. This year has been something else. Something else. But I am feeling better about moving into our house maybe before Christmas. Max doesn't think so. Max thinks it'll be January, and he may be right. I don't know. Especially because we keep adding on stuff for our contractor to do, but yeah. I don't know. And of course it's Thanksgiving, so I don't know if they'll be working Wednesday and Friday or not. I do not know. So, if you celebrate and you see this before Thanksgiving, let me know what your plans are if you celebrate. Oh, jeez. Yep, I'm going to have to change out this putty. They just start falling off. That's the sure sign. But if you watch afterwards, let me know what you did. And I hope I'm keeping you company for a little bit. I'm hoping to get this finished. I was planning on doing a jingle drills kit, but I don't think I will because I want to finish this. I want to finish a actual painting. So it feels like I haven't in a while, and I really want to have a finish. So, and originally I thought I would do a stash video, but you know, now all my stash is in storage, and there's no way in heck I'm getting in there. So I think it'll probably be, I'm going to do one whenever I move, you know, so maybe sometime in January when I, you know, move and go to set up my craft room, because that'd be a good time. I'm going to be going through all my stash, and I can decide what I want to de-stash, what I want to keep, you know, that sort of thing. And, oh, I hate it, but I'm going to have to start over on my gems flow because I told you I lost everything. So I have nothing. None of my stash is on there. I can't even tell you how many I have anymore. It's not a big deal for me to just like, well, okay, you got to re-enter them all. Okay, you know, not the end of the world. Time consuming, yes. Not the end of the world, though. What bothers me is the ones that I gifted. And, you know, it's like, but, yeah. I'm sure I can remember who I gifted it to. I don't know. But that bothers me a little bit. And then, of course, I do have ones that before I knew better, that I had gotten off of Amazon. So, you know, they weren't legally licensed or anything. But I did have a couple of those that I gave away. And I actually have some that I hung up. And then most of them, though, got thrown away because, you know, they weren't any good. Especially once I discovered what was good. So, but yeah, that'll be January sometime. It's going to take a long time, though, I think. All right, well, y'all, I am fixing spaghetti for dinner. And I do need to get my cornbread in the oven because I like for it to get nice and stale for my dressing on Thanksgiving Day. So I could make it tomorrow, but I don't think it would be stale in 24 hours. So I'd like to get that made tonight. Oh, look at there. I forgot these C's here. And I will plan on getting this section done. I only have one more section until I move on to the... I needed 5 and I poured out all these. Until I move on. And then I think I will be... I think I'll be more than a quarter of a way. Yeah, I will. After I finish this, I'll be more than a quarter away from being done. So, and I'm really looking forward to it. So, thanks to Anthony for hosting it. Are you doing... I know some of y'all are doing my Mucha Mania. If you are, what kit are you doing? That'd be nice to know. So, anyway, y'all, thank you so much for spending your time with me. I know your time is important, and I appreciate it. Let me know, were you working on something? Or were you driving in your car? Or, you know, what were you doing while listening to me? Oh, God, I knew I was going to have to yawn. I hate that. I don't know why I do that. Anyway, I'm not tired, y'all. Yeah, what were you doing while you were listening? Now, oh, and I want to give a thanks to Kim, she's a subscriber, and I also consider her a dear friend as well, for turning me on to woodworking videos, because I've been watching those now every night. It's mesmerizing, and it helps me go to sleep. It also makes me go, oh, I want to get a lathe. Oh, my gosh. Yeah, every time I watch something like on stuff being made, I'm like, oh, I want to do that. I want to make one too. So, but needless to say, you know, I'm not going to be getting a lathe. Max saw that, and he was like, yeah, it's a good way for you to lose a finger or something. It's like, yeah, you're right. So anyway, but thank you for letting me vent about my car buying experience. Yeah, normally I love buying cars. I mean, I do. I love everything about it, from test driving to purchasing to the whole thing. And this just has absolutely ruined it. From now, I'm like, now I see why so many people dislike it. So thank you for letting me vent. And are you one of those people that will drive your car until the wheels fall off? Or are you like, no, the warranty's up, it's time to get a new one? Yeah, let me know. So anyway, thank you all again for watching. I appreciate it. Please give the video a thumbs up if you liked it. It really does help my channel, makes my heart happy. And subscribe if you haven't already. You know, I'd love to see you back if this is your first time here. So anyway, thank y'all, everybody. Bye.